Good morning.
Good day.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Warmest welcomes to our viewers wherever you are in the world, and welcome to iNtuitons Alternative Theater Festival.
iNtuitons is the University of Pennsylvania's experimental theater group. 2020 was made for us. What better way to get experimental than to plan and execute an entire theater festival virtually? The shows you will see are all student-written, directed, and performed. We have writers, directors, and cast from across the country and even on the opposite side of the world.
We'd like to thank our playwrights, directors, actors, and tech members for all working in such unconventional times to make ATF happen. We also want to thank the IBOR co-chairs Kelsey and Whitney for being amazing mentors to us and for helping us at all hours of the day to make ATF possible. Finally, we'd like to thank Fringe Arts for allowing us to be a part of their annual Fringe Arts Festival.
We hope that this show can be a relaxing break in your day, an engaging virtual event for you and your family and friends, and a way to stimulate your creativity and encourage you to explore the experimental aspects of theater. Enjoy the show. From your co-producers Jessica Lin and
Ashley Robinson.
What could I do with a truck? A lot of things.
Yeah?
Oh, sure. Drive, for one.
I love driving.
Quit being agreeable. You're my enemy. Let's see. I could take a nap in the bed.
That's why they call it a bed, I guess.
Listen, I see through this congeniality shtick. I've seen congeniality before. And then, what happens next?
What happens next?
Not so congenial when they bring out the pliers.
Are you threatening me?
What's wrong? Afraid of pliers?
What? No, not pliers. Not pliers in and of themselves. Maybe pliers in the hands of somebody who isn't nice. What makes me afraid is the way you sound, and you sound like you've used pliers violently, so I feel threatened.
Oh, I feel threatened. Well, lucky for you, I never used pliers violently. I just watched.
You just watched?
Yep.
What do you do for a living?
Keep being nice. See where it gets you. I'm between jobs. Still part of the labor force. Unemployed, as the Department of Labor calls it.
What do you do?
I can do a lot of things. I was a janitor. Then I trained beluga whales. Most recently, I was a financial advisor.
Where were you a janitor?
That's classified.
Pliers?
Classified information.
Are the beluga whales classified too?
No. Why would the beluga whales be classified too?
I don't know. What did you teach them?
Calculus. I myself spent months training as an animal trainer and additionally as a math teacher. I invested hours in my beluga whale students. I learned their beluga whale language, called beluga, but then I wasn't needed anymore.
What happened?
Beluga whales already know calculus. Most beluga whales have a graduate level understanding of math. The rest of them are macroeconomicists. The ones I taught were pulling my leg for 7 years just so I could give them each 30 mackerel a day.
Yeesh.
Now the real truth comes out. Okay, nice person. Are you ready for the truth? No naps in the bed, okay? If I get this truck, I'd waste 0 time on naps. Less than 0 time. I'd dump this truck in the ocean, preferably somewhere close to the Arctic Circle where it might inconvenience a beluga whale.
That's only fair.
I've been throwing things in the ocean for years now, big and small. Rock and boulders, plastic bags and Skittles. I lobbied Congress to allow me to pump more industrial waste from my Botox factories into the ocean, all in the hopes I can enact some form of vengeance on those bastards while I can still draw breath.
I respect that.
Do you know how clammy my hands would get, shoveling hundreds of pounds of mackerel at those snot-nosed cetaceans? Do you know what it's like to be absolutely bamboozled by your best friends? Marooned in the middle of your life by those you hold most dear?
I do.
Congeniality.
No, I do. I really do. I was left high and dry by my a cappella group. We were the Barbaras. We only sang the songs from the Barbra Streisand albums with their name, Barbra Streisand, in the title.
You mean the Barbra Streisand album? The second Barbra Streisand album? My Name is Barbara. My Name is Barbara 2. Color Me Barbara. Je m'appelle Barbara. Simply Streisand. Barbara Jones Streisand. Barbra Streisand and other musical instruments. And classical Barbara?
Yes,
Those albums shepherded me through some of my darkest days.
me as well. Actually, me as well, but really just me in the past. Now, those albums only bring me pain.
What happened?
We were an orgy a cappella group. We started out of an orgy. 8 of us laying there basking in the afterglow of a dastardly dozen. That's a 12-person orgy. We started to sing Barbra Streisand. They sang and I beatboxed. Beatboxing comes naturally to me. You've been in a dastardly dozen, haven't you?
Classified.
Well, suffice it to say, we were as thick as thieves. But then one day,
It's always then one day.
it is. It's always then one day.
Then one day you're shoveling mackerel into mendacious sacks of blubber.
Just like that. But then one day I decided to come to our a cappella rehearsal early. Don't ask me why. Everything had aligned that day to make it perfect up to that point. The sun was out. The truck I had then was humming along exquisitely. It was just like this truck, all enormous and beautiful and sturdy and truckalicious.
No.
I strode into the rehearsal room a full 17 minutes early, my lucky number. My beautiful locks of hair were full of flowers I had picked from my blooming garden, and my blood froze in my veins.
No.
I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't. I lost consciousness. I came to in their arms, the 7 of them, the others. I bawled, "It's not true," I shouted. "And you wouldn't," I yelled. "Then this isn't happening, I screamed.
No.
36 studio albums, 117 singles, 15 soundtrack albums, and I know them all like nothing else. Like literally nothing else. I know them all.
And they were singing?
In blatant breach of the a cappella charter we had all signed in the blood of an unblemished you on a moonless night deep in the forest while cartwheeling around a pentagram and singing the Barbra Streisand album backwards.
So you want another truck to fill the Barbra Streisand hole in your heart.
Yes.
And it would be selfish, nay, heartless of me to stand in your way.
It's all I've wanted since. I want that perfection back. Some of it. Whatever I can get back. I want it. But you can't go back. The world is a sham. A sad sham. Everything that once was up is down.
Well, I'm not budging from this truck.
No, I wouldn't ask you to. Hate is strong.
You hate?
I hate. I'm dizzy with hate. I want to drive past that rehearsal room in this truck with my flower-filled hair billowing out this window. I want to glance over and lock eyes with those 7 traitors as they struggle to make a dastardly dozen anything remotely close to dastardly without their beatboxer.
You want, I want.
I want, you want through hate.
Want through hate. That's it. Want through hate.
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 Want through
Want
hate.
through hate.
Want through
Want
hate.
through hate.
Want through
Want
hate.
through hate.
Want through hate.
Want through hate.
Want through hate. Want through hate. Want through hate. Want through hate.
Oh, I'm just happy to be wanted.
Did you hear that?
Want through hate?
I heard something in the truck.
Investigate it.
Hello? Is somebody in there? Hello?
I am Oberon, king of the fairies. Titania is my corregent fae.
A joyful salutation to you both.
You're both ferrets.
I am Oberon, king of the fairies. Titania is my corregent fae.
A joyful salutation to you both.
Want through hate.
Fair friends, I bid you stay and speak a while. Learn that this truck belongs to us royals. This conquest through hate will lead to naught.
Didn't you hear our stories? One of us deserves this truck. Whoever lasts longest with a hand on the truck gets it.
Yeah, and we're getting it. Ferrets can't own things. It's the law.
Owning things is only for people, puppets, cats, dogs, certain fish, and multinational corporations.
Beyond the obulate of capital does our allotment, this truckalicious old kingdom of our mighty truck exist.
Tell that to the capitalist mackerel who designed this contest. No monarchical polecat is going to stop me from inconveniencing a beluga whale.
Screw your kingdom and a dastardly dozen.
Take pity on me and my fairy prince, born into the primeval land of Fae, with nothing like security to hold, entwined among the winds of fate to search for a pretended kingdom to reign o'er.
Under the twilight star that marked our births, a sear spake of an unknown truck to claim, that was to be our home if we should choose. In battles great and small we took a chance, and sojourned to our automotive realm.
This truck.
This truck.
This truck.
This truck.
Well, kingdom or no kingdom, I want this truck. I want it through hate.
What through hate?
A plan I've hatched and I'll tell it my spouse, a surefire way to rid these pesky louts. Into their ears a dew will place inside, drawing away their gazes from our ride.
My dear guests like two brothers to me now, with joyful voices together in sound. I pray you listen to the breath I lend, and right this twain will you as you make amends.
But only one of us can have the truck.
And it'll be me.
I need it. Think about Barbara Streisand, the dastardly dozen.
I need it. Think about the belugas, the years of mackerel I wasted.
Now listen, mortals, to the spell we cast, as it makes of your hate a quick repast.
Beluga's full belly, dastard's dozen.
Classified plier, calculus mackerel.
36th album of Barbara Streisand.
A sprig of pure congeniality.
With 2, this parked pickup remains today, and 2 will leave the truck and go away.
My hatred.
It's gone.
If you find the shadows played today, a folly, tasteless void in every way.
Apologies for this stage-borne hiccup. Sincerely, these fairies and their pickup.
Here we are watching the show Succubus Journal's Solar Flare. The setting of the show is a very ordinary town. Actually, the town is really boring. It's like a very pointedly normal town, except for the fact that none of the teenage characters are ever seen doing any homework, and there are no consequences for that. They actually only have one pub, restaurant, grill in town where most social scenes take place. Anyway, it's a pretty bland-ass town. And in this town, we find an ordinary girl, Victoria. She's 18 years old, a senior in high school. She's the main character, but I'm not sure why, if she's supposed to be so aggressively ordinary. Hopefully later in the show we get to know her better so that you as the audience can be even remotely interested in her. It's the start of the semester, so she's just trying to keep her head down and get through the school year. Her neighbor Sam, on the other hand, is pretty outgoing, so they have a classic opposites attract dynamic going for them. I mean, Sam in particular is really pushing that narrative.
I don't know, Sam. I feel really weird about hanging out in this forest in the middle of the night and straying away from that bonfire that all the faceless popular kids at school are having back there. What if it's dangerous to be out here alone?
Hey, you said you wanted some fresh air, right?
That's true.
So don't bite the hand that feeds you. This air is definitely fresher than the air by the bonfire. There's also less people, so there's less carbon dioxide. Chill. You're nuts.
Oh. Well, it's not like I'm missing out on much at the party anyways. I'm kind of a bookish, ordinary girl, and since I'm just trying to keep my head down and in my books, I don't know too many of the people at the party well. I'm only here because you asked me to come, since you're the really outdoorsy and sociable next-door neighbor.
Yeah, our chemistry is crazy that way. I'm glad you came when I asked, even though you know it's how creepy it is right by that. But I'm pretty confident that I could protect you from anything. I would die for you. Did you hear that some kids broke the seal on that? Just as a desperate cry for attention? I'm pretty sure that's important context for.
Hey, how's it going? I'm just gonna cut to the chase the same way that I can cut the sexual tension in here with a knife. I'm a vampire. It's real. Believe it. I'm hundreds of years old. I've been sealed up in that tomb by an angry vampire hunter, but some misguided kids broke in and set me free. Ever since then, I've been watching you, Victoria.
What?
I'm actually here tonight to confess that your humanity, your vulnerability, your general naivete has caused me to fall desperately in love with you. And I also won't lie, I definitely hooked up with your great-great-great-grandma somewhere down the line, and I'm still not remotely over it. You remind me of her. I mean, you're your own person. Stay gorgeous. I know what you're thinking. I'm a stalker. I'm a creep. But I think that's actually not something we discuss in this scene. So sorry. I just really can't let you guys have a moment because I'm in love with you and I need you to choose me. But take your time. It's your choice.
These two are about to argue, so it looks like we won't get to know Victoria too well before the main conflict. That's fine. I'm sure there are better uses for your time.
I'm sorry, I don't even...
So what? You think you can just come in here with some grand proposal and win her over? You're ancient. So how do you even know you two have the same values? What do you even want out of this relationship?
I mean, I may be a flat earther, but I'm definitely a feminist.
Oh, you're a flat earther and a simp.
I don't really think either one of them is a feminist.
I'm sorry, that's not what simping is.
If she breathes, she's a thought.
All women are queens.
Is this still about me? Does this vampire even know me well enough for this to be about me?
Of course, it's about you. Everything should be about you, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure I said I was a feminist, and I'm trying to justify that women are important to me by being obsessed with women.
Okay, I can't speak for you because we just met, but Sam, you're like my best friend, and you're telling me you don't know what feminism is? It's like I don't even know you.
Of course I know what feminism is. I'm not an idiot. I might understand modern feminism, but that doesn't mean I subscribe to it. I'm incredibly territorial, especially towards you. I can't be a feminist if I treat my women like territory, which I do.
She's right. She doesn't know Sam. I'll spare you a painfully awkward scene where everyone sprouts fangs. Sam is a werewolf and is in love with Victoria. Ugh, I really hate the term imprinting, so I'll say love. Anyway, she's been painfully oblivious to it all despite the helpful hints our writer has already given the audience.
Okay, but you're a vampire? Where does the blood go when you drink it? Do you pee? She can't date a person who doesn't even pee. I am supposed to be her option for the most normalcy, even though I'm also supernatural and I'm being kind of a dick.
I only pee for sport. Mortal activities only interest me in the context of a game. They're like playthings. Also, sport is inherently important to me as a way to assert my dominance through winning. I always win. And I'm gonna win this fight. I have a god complex, a savior complex, the whole 9 yards.
You didn't answer my initial question, and I'm sure you're improvising these lines. You sound like a dumbass.
Improvising what lines?
Oh my god. I'm sorry that I, as an artist, decided to take some creative liberties and that my delivery isn't as two-dimensional as the pages of this script are.
Okay, now this is interesting.
I'm sorry, is everyone else hearing a voice?
Okay, fine. You know what? I have another project to work on, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself from the rest of the scenes this season. Is that fine? Great. You can catch me and my flat delivery in the latest critically acclaimed young adult novels film adaptation. It's a dystopian drama. There's not a door here that I can slam, but I wish there was.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's take 5. If you can't leave it at the door, then go ahead and leave. I'm sure Kass can write in a couple more love interests. As long as Victoria has to make a decision that it's impossible for her to make, then I can still work with it.
You're telling me I can't make my own choices?
Oh, you, Victoria, sweetie. I'm gonna need you to give me something. Anything. You're giving me nothing.
I was just living my life, hanging out with my best friend, when suddenly I hear a disembodied voice and all this crazy scary stuff is happening. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be giving you.
Oh my god, there's no disembodied voice. Okay? Go ahead and take 5. Take it sooner rather than later because I really need to wrap this up. I have deadlines.
No, wait a minute, who are you? What's your name? Do you go to my school? Is this some kind of prank?
I'm the director.
Okay, who's the other one then? That voice that hates me so much and keeps talking about conflict in audience?
Listen, I was really rooting for you. I mean, out of the 3 of you in the cast, you were really focused on getting through it all, not thinking about every single line. But I really can't have you asking these questions. It's just out of my jurisdiction. Hey, I got eyes on a potential simulation breach. I'm gonna need you to come down and take care of this.
Simulation breach?
Yeah. Okay. 10-4.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need to escort you off the premises when we arrive. It seems like we've had a little bit of a mix-up that we can easily clear up down to headquarters.
Okay, this is a really elaborate prank!
Ma'am, I can assure you that this is not a prank. I take my job very seriously. I'm gonna need you to sober up and collect yourself before we go down to headquarters. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to lock it up and reassess here.
Lock it up and reassess? What do you think this is?
Actually, ma'am, I'm gonna have to counter. What do you think this is? Does this seem real to you, or is this a simulation? If you think this is real, then we can just be on our way. Do you copy?
Is this real? Is this not real? Am I dreaming?
Ma'am, stand by, please. Oh my god, Agent 1, you can't just ask that.
Okay, copy, Agent 2. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to come with me so we can have a little bit of a breakout conversation and see if we can get this sorted out. Agent 2, sidebar to the breakout.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of glad that's over with. I've never really been a part of a project like this before, so I didn't really know what to do when it took a turn. But did you at least get something out of this? Okay, were you rooting for Simp or Sam? No, neither. Yeah, they both kind of suck. How's your quarantine been? No, not good. Yeah, same here. Well, I think I'm honestly gonna head out at this point. I mean, I don't want to be here. I mean, there's really no point of being here. All of the characters are gone, so yeah. Roll credits, and you can clap now.